Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just working on my Google site. Google Sites are fantastic. They do a lot of great things. It's a wonderful way to house all of your content and materials that you use throughout the year. Obviously, we have Google Classroom, and that works well for many, many, many things, but sometimes things get lost or you want to reuse an assignment and you can't find it. Google Sites is a great way to solve that problem and have everything exactly where you want it all the time. So the way I usually set things up is to have all of the materials and then share a link to Google Sites in Google Classroom. That way you're never dependent on finding previous things in Google Classroom. If you haven't used Sites before, it's very easy to use. It's fully customizable. And as I said, it's easy to load all of the materials right into the Google site. So here's mine, just to give you kind of a look at a completed one, or, well, they're always a work in progress. But here's what it looks like from the editor viewpoint. Okay, when you're editing, you always have this sidebar on the right where you could go to themes, change the overall theme, insert, which is where you're going to get all of your loaded content or templates. Okay, so if you like a certain look, if you like the way that it's set up, you can kind of pick these. Okay, there's also special things that you could do. It gets kind of complicated, but the basic use of it is pretty simple. Okay, so if I want to add anything, let me go to the bottom. I have a Twitter feed here, I have information. Okay, if I double click this little wheel, and this little wheel is going to take care of much of what I want to do here. Okay, so text, I could add text if I'm writing directions. If I have a file on my computer, I can upload it here. Google Drive, obviously a lot of what we do is going to come from Google Drive. So I could just click that button and it's going to pop up a sidebar. Okay, and then I could go scrolling through and find what I'm looking for. And then if I wanted to embed something, like for instance, this Twitter feed, I could embed it from a website. Okay, that's again a little bit more complicated. I have links to calendars here for appointment slots. It's pretty built up, but I'm always changing it, and that's another good thing. You could constantly update and change what you're working on. So if you have an older lesson and you wanted to update it, okay, you could just edit it. It's really editable, just like really anything, Google Docs, Google Sheets, etc. Or what you could do is start a new one and then just make it the older version not visible, which is something that I like to do a lot. Okay, so here I have a page that if you go to my website, you will not be able to see, but I could keep this here as a draft, or if I want to work on it later. It's not visible to everyone who's visiting the website, but I, as the editor and owner of the website, can see it, can make changes, and if I decide to publish it, I can easily make it visible. So starting from scratch, you could create a blank website, okay, or you could use their template gallery. They have a lot of great things. Okay, here's a class. It depends on what you're looking for exactly. We do have a class website template here, which is great. Okay, so you can start from there. It's got the logo, the icon. It's got our school colors already built in for you. But you could start from scratch if you'd like. And then you're going to pick your theme, customize it, and that's where you'll start loading in content. As I said, there's lots of advanced features that you could get into, but the basics of it are pretty simple and pretty easy to use. And like I said, once you have it there, it's always going to be in the same place. You can then start sharing out the link on Google Classroom and never have to worry about where did this go, what class is it from, so on and so forth. Okay, you can build all of your classes into a page. Each class gets a page, and then every assignment or every project will get a sub-page, which is pretty easy to make. Okay, so here I could find one, for instance, Digital Portfolios has all of these sub-pages. Okay, and you could have sub-pages within the sub-pages for different instructions inside different projects. Okay, so again, fully customizable, a lot there. I highly recommend it. I have been for years. It's good to have because you know exactly where everything's going. One last thing that I want to mention, if you have materials for the students to use in an assignment, rather than having to find those and post those into Google Classroom, you could just write them into the directions on the website and then have students file, make a copy. That way, you don't even need to manage your files as much because it's all just in that link. Okay, it makes it simple to push out just one link to students that has everything, including the documents that they'll need for that assignment. So again, I can't stress enough, I highly recommend creating a Google site if you haven't already. If you want help creating one or you want help editing yours, please see me, I'm always available. Have a great day.